The Lord be with you. I'm Deacon Keith Fournier, and our first reading is taken from the first book of Samuel. Now the boy Samuel was serving Yahweh in the presence of Eli. In those days, it was rare for Yahweh to speak, and visions were uncommon. One day it happened that Eli was lying down in his room. His eyes were beginning to grow dim. He could no longer see. The lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was lying in Yahweh's sanctuary, where the ark of God was. When Yahweh called, "Samuel, Samuel," he answered, "Here I am." And running to Eli, he said, "Here I am as you called me." Eli said, "I did not call. Go back and lie down." So he went and lay down. And again Yahweh called, "Samuel, Samuel." He got up and went to Eli and said, "Here I am as you called me." He replied, "I did not call, my son. Go back and lie down." As yet, Samuel had no knowledge of Yahweh, and the word of Yahweh had not yet been revealed to him. Again Yahweh called the third time. He got up and went to Eli and said, "Here I am as you called me." And Eli then understood. Yahweh was calling the child. And he said to Samuel, "Go and lie down, and if someone calls, say, 'Speak, Yahweh,' for your servant is listening." So Samuel went and lay down in his place. Yahweh then came and stood by, calling as he had done before, "Samuel, Samuel." Samuel answered, "Speak, Yahweh, for your servant is listening." Samuel grew up, and Yahweh was with him, and did not let a single word fall to the ground of all that he had told him. And all Israel knew from Dan to Beersheba that Samuel was attested as a prophet of Yahweh. And our response is taken from Psalm 40. He pulled me up from the seething chasm, from the mud of the mire. He set my feet on rock and made my footsteps firm. He put a fresh song in my mouth, praise of our God. Many will be awestruck at the sight and will put their trust in Yahweh. How blessed are those who put their trust in Yahweh, who have not sided with rebels, and those who have gone astray in falsehood. How much you have done, Yahweh, my God. Your wonders, your plans for us. You have no equal. I will proclaim and speak of them. They are beyond number. Then I said, "Here I am coming. In the scroll of the book it is written of me. My delight is to do your will. Your law, my God, is deep in my heart. I proclaim the saving justice of Yahweh in the great assembly. See, I will not hold my tongue, as you well know. I've not kept your saving justice locked in the depths of my heart, but have spoken of your constancy in saving help. I've made no secret of your faithful and steadfast love in the great assembly." A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Mark. And at once on leaving the synagogue, Jesus went with James and John straight to the house of Simon and Andrew. Now Simon's mother-in-law was in bed and feverish, and at once they told him about her. He went in to her, took her by the hand, and helped her up. And the fever left her, and she began to serve them. That evening after sunset, they brought to him all who were sick, and those who were possessed by devils. The whole town came crowding round the door, and he cured many who were sick with diseases of one kind or another. And he also drove out many devils. But he would not allow them to speak, because they knew who he was. In the morning, long before dawn, he got up and left the house and went off to a lonely place and prayed there. Simon and his companions set out in search of him, and when they found him, they said, "Everybody is looking for you." He answered, "Let us go elsewhere to the neighboring country towns so that I can proclaim the message there too, because that's why I came." And he went all through Galilee, preaching in their synagogues and driving out devils. The Gospel of the Lord.